And there I was, standing in queue, waiting to board the world's renowned roller coaster for its incredible speeds and acclaiming records. To begin with, why was I there? Long story short, it was the long-awaited annual field trip, and every student had their eyes on that one attraction out of the entire place. Everyone wanted to ride it, but not everyone could, so I managed to gain the courage to step foot in the queue and patiently waited for my turn. As the miniature clock around my wrist ticked, my teacher abruptly tapped my shoulder, making my thoughts stop. She said, "Don't worry, dear. Think of this as an opportunity. You only have one life to live, so why not live it to its fullest?" My teeth immediately appeared as she assured me, and it was truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And I believe that the words which will come out of my mouth today will try and encourage each and every individual to seek their once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, as you only live once. Before we board this roller coaster of words, allow me to briefly introduce myself. Hi, my name is Samantha Jill, and I am a student who stands here today and aims to raise my voice on the topic of seizing your life as you only live once. I believe that my speech will encourage people, both young and old, to take sensible risks and grab opportunities which seems unreachable to them. It may seem highly controversial or opinionated, but I sternly believe that we must do whatever makes us happy, as our time in this world is limited. I've always lived an enclosed lifestyle. The only thing I could say was, "No, I can't. I'm too shy." It really shaped me to who I was until this day. I had a fear of opening my mouth and expressing ideas, scared to be criticized by the people around me, scared to hear the "not up to my expectations" or the "you failed." Getting painted with the face of reality was like getting swallowed by a shark. Being someone else's shadow was my only source of comfort, and I am sure it wasn't only me who faced this fear. Others did, and perhaps you felt this too. Let's start from scratch. What does my title mean? Carpe Diem, with its definition of the enjoyment of the pleasures of the moment without concern for the future. It recognizes and commemorates the idea of being contented to whatever is in your hands rather than generating a mindset that wants a plethora in your plate. It is a line from the Roman poet Horace that literally translates to "pluck the day," but is widely used as "seize the day." The phrase "enjoy yourself while you have the chance" could be a common context used by a large scale of people. All of you may think that these two words are just simple Latin words. We don't recognize its significance and importance in our life of growth. A basic example of including this phrase in our life is if you have the chance to begin a hobby you're interested in. You should take advantage of it as soon as possible, rather than waiting to start it and hoping to find the time later. People have different dreams, from being certain jobs like doctors, engineers, or architects. Some people even dream to step foot on the moon. Others could dream of having a picture with their favorite celebrity or having to deliver a speech publicly. Though it doesn't end there, in fact, we are just at the surface of these hopes of fulfillment. We can scratch it deeper by first analyzing you. Ask yourself, who am I? Only you can know your strengths and weaknesses. Only you can know your desires and disfavors. And lastly, only you can know you. Psychologist Dr. Tasha Eurich conducted a survey and found that 95% of people think they're self-aware, but only 15% knew their true colors. That just proves how these individuals are blinded by their fears to the point they can't even discover their own selves. Another point to consider is surrounding yourself with the people who you think will help you succeed in this certain moment of time you have to live, as well as those people who will always be right behind your back with open hearts filled with support, such as your family and friends. It is a crucial part of your journey to happiness and fulfilling your countless opportunities. There is always a climax in every novel, and after we've discovered ourselves, it is time for our climax. This is where the adrenaline of trying out new things and doing these extraordinary activities start gushing in. Books have explained how hormones like cortisol, adrenaline, and oxytocin play a fundamental role in contentment. If you'd ask me, all I'd have to say is that we have to consider the time that's ticking. Time doesn't come to you, you have to chase it. Time doesn't come to you, you have to chase it. There is absolutely no more time to waste. I'll use myself as an example. I am years away from my legality, and it scares me. But what can I do? It's reality. I have to do whatever I want to do while I'm still in my carefree adolescent stage. I have one life, you have one life, and what else can we do with it? But live it to its fullest, because once again, we only live once. As Charlie Chaplin once stated, failure is unimportant. It takes real courage to make a fool of yourself. My take on this quote is that we should not let failure eat us alive. It should not be something which can hold you back from achieving what you want to achieve. Failure may come to us, especially at our learning stages, and will willingly be embarrassing. But it takes real courage to be an individual with a determined mindset. And failure is just one of the unimaginable obstacles along the way. It costs sacrifices and critical thinking to be an individual with a determined mindset, and failure is just one of the unimaginable obstacles along the way. Now that we finally came to the end of this roller coaster, I'd like to finish by dedicating a few words for us to remember. Aren't we all mortal beings? What time is there to waste? Wake up and start a new day. The world doesn't end if you failed your math test or perhaps lost your job. Start over. You only live once. We all have dreams to chase, and it's only in a matter of time. Who knows? I could possibly vanish from this earth any second, or within a snap. So I decided to take this headed workshop as an opportunity. And I did it. I ticked off that small box in my notepad saying, doing a public speech. And I believe that you can also take off that small box in your bucket list of adrenaline rush activities, because you only live once. Life is short. Carpe Diem. Thank you.